That's great. So, I would be taking up the preparations for topical anesthesia and how to switch from local to topical. Now, the choice is yours. Just imagine yourself as patient and see on the OT table these two scenes. What would you like to have it in your own eye? And then this is going to change your post-op outcome. The way you want to be after your own surgery. And remember that don't expect to receive if you are not willing to give. So, now why to go topical? What is the need? First of all, it is very safe. There is no risk of bleed in the orbit, no chances of optical nerve injury or perforation of globe. There are no chances of ptosis, no black eyes, no raccooning, and is very safe with patients on antiplatelets and with thrombocytopenia or bad quality of platelets, what we call. So in those cases, we are really safe with topical anesthesia. It is really effective. A good anesthesia can be achieved with proparacaine drops. Surgeries can be performed with minimal discomfort, and it gives a very fast rehabilitation and patient satisfaction after surgery. You see the two pictures down here, and there is a hell lot of difference in the mind of patient when he sees his eyes like this. So eyes look as normal as before after topical anesthesia. So here we are to recommend this. It is really good for surgeon also. When we do surgery under topical anesthesia, it improves our tissue handling. The handling becomes really more delicate and surgeries become very fast. I repeat, surgeries become fast if done under topical. There is no wastage of time in super pinky, putting blocks and waiting for blocks to come, repeating blocks. So all those issues are not there. And yes, for a private practitioner, I must say it improves practice. Whatever conferences you see, all surgeons are doing surgery in the topical. Whatever premium surgeon you name on this earth, he will be doing surgery under topical. So, mind you, take this up, do surgery under topical, or else you will stay behind. Yes, as an expert today, I would like to emphasize on this issue very importantly that it's not that every case can be taken up by everyone. Individual expertise will matter definitely, but there are few case scenarios where you have to put special caution. Mind you, whenever there are extremes of age, then coordination and cooperation both are not good. So you have to think of other types of anesthesia here. If you have an extra apprehensive patient, very much anxious, then yes, again you might refrain from surgery under topical. If you have a hard of hearing patient with nystagmus, then the surgery under topical is not very easy. And if somebody directly tells you that he had a past experience with topical that wasn't very good, then no point emphasizing it again. You can do this time under retrovalvular or perivalvular, whatever. If you have a real deep set eye, that's very important, and you are adamant to sit superiorly, then surgery is not going to be very easy. So, in deep set eyes, you might refrain from topical. And if you have any of the iris issues like synechia or non-dilating people, you want to use expanders or devices to dilate people, or you want to have an endocapsular ring or CTRs or something, Sioni rings or something like that with a subluxated cataract on table, then please don't do the case under topical. You have to see or have a reserve for perivalvulars. Observe in your OPD who are office blinkers. Those are not very good candidates for topic and see their cooperation on immersion biometry or action tonometry. If somebody is very anxious, not able to cooperate on that, then mind you, these patients are not going to be very cooperative on table under topical anesthesia. And to start with, you must select a grade 2 cataract in beginning with a very clear cornea and very dilated pupil so as to have an encouragement and positive reinforcement area on the ear. Many agents are available, but we emphasize yes, proparacaine drops 0.5%, that's enough for anesthesia. Now, important part is how to counsel the patient for topics. Best is to show two videos, two surgeries happening side by side on one computer screen, and the patient will automatically pick it up that yes, this is going to be very lucrative and very easy, and I will opt for that. And yes, while doing the surgery, don't you give so many instructions. Let the patient feel that you are confident. Your confidence, your sturdy hands, your confident statements give a lot of impact on the psyche of the patient. And ask the patient what he or she wants. if she frankly says, put an injection in my eye, just please give, don't unnecessarily tax the lady. And yes, when you do the surgery, ask the patient to keep the eyes relaxed, wide open, and fixating at the light. Don't ask the patient to look here and there. Lesser the instructions, it is going to be better. Keep talking to the patient for two reasons. First, they are diverted, they don't anticipate something stressful happening with them. And yes, often I have observed patients do sleep. Yes, patients sleep during the surgery, and one fine moment, a sudden jerk will come and they will shift their head. So avoid that thing to happen with you, and just keep talking on the daily routine questions. How many children you have? Where have you been educated? Where do you live? Who has come with you as attendant in the hospital? Such questions are very helpful and very easy to answer and keep the patient connected with you. It is very easy when the other eye is open. Mind you, if the patient closes the other eye with the bells, his other eye goes up. And with that, bells is a bilateral phenomenon. The other eye, the operating eye, will also tend to go up. So if you ask the patient to open the other eye and you don't drape it, just open it and ask the patient to see the ceiling from the non-operating eye. If this thing happens, then the opening of the operated eye becomes easy. Teach the difference between touch and pain. When you start the surgery, touch the eye with one instrument and say, see, I am touching you. You are feeling that something has touched you, but it is not paining. So don't prompt me and don't point out that it is paining. If you get a genuine pain, then only tell this touch will keep happening and this is normal. So the patient will not be apprehensive. Whenever you are going to do such steps which are going to stretch the eyeball, like hydration, like IOL injection, or we are going to put in a suture, prompt the person that you will feel some stretch. Or you can divert, immediately ask, today who has come with you in the hospital? The moment he thinks and answers, just do that step. In the while the moment in which he is answering, that time will be that 1 second will be enough for you to get that step done. So that is one way out I do, and you might practice that way. If you are a resident surgeon, the best time to adopt topical is that very time. Just learn that way. Just imagine that this is the normal way to do surgery, and your eyes see only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. I must pay attributes even today to Professor Sanjeev Gupta. He taught me phacoemulsification, and the very first case I did was under topical, and till date I am doing it under topical. So adopting topical as resident is the best way. And if you are a switching surgeon, just remove this mental block. It's never the age which can stop you. At any age, you can shift. You can see multiple videos, and yes, give one block. Don't give block to both the eyes and practice. If you have a seasoned surgeon with you, then it is better. Just do some steps. Just put an IUL someday. Just make a Rexis someday under topical. And one fine day, you will feel that yes, now I'm mature enough to do the full case under topical. And once you are switching from block to topical, I would humbly suggest to shift from superior to temporal. Eye opening is better, you get a better field of view, and less of complications would be there if you shift from block to topical and from superior to temporal. Draping is the foundation of surgery, and this is a very short video I would like to show here for draping. See, the light is not there on the eye, and see both the eyes are open. Now putting a swab stick, taking the eyes up, eyes down and lids up, and this is how the drape is being put, and now drape is being opened. See, the drape is fully out, and then I'm going to cut the drape. Not a single lash is out in the feet. The whole lashes are sticking to the drape, and the speculum is now being placed. And now you will see that light is being thrown onto the eye. So this is the ideal way to prepare the case. And now, as the case is prepared, I would request Dr. Navendu to tell how good a surgical phaco can be done under topical. So I thank you all for your attention, and now ask the other participant, Dr. Navendu, to take up. Thank you.